Well, time management is something every parent struggles with, but as our kids reach their teenage years, they can often become less motivated to get any of their work done on time.
I know I'm a victim of that as well, and I'm not a teenager anymore.
Right.
Today we are joined by the author of What's the Deal with Teens and Time Management, Leslie Josel, who's here helping us get a handle on our teenagers' time. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
Such an important issue, and
yeah.
first of all, why is it so hard to get a teenager to just focus and use their time wisely?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that our teens' time these days is really not their own. They're being pulled in a million different directions between school and jobs. They have outside pressures, and they also don't really have the tools to understand how to prioritize, how to figure out what to get done. So we need to be teaching them these tools. They're really life skills to kind of get them on that journey of understanding how to get homework done on time.
Yeah, it seems like nowadays scheduling, I mean, first they're in school till 3 or something, and then they have after school activities, sports, music, all of that. And then by the time I feel like they get home and have dinner, it's like they're exhausted. So when is the best time, do you think, to do homework?
Okay, so I like to call it a personal homework profile. We know that after school, the last thing these kids want to do is homework. I don't know about you, I work all day, I come home, I don't even want to do my own work. So we have to kind of tap into their best practices. We have to figure out what's going to work best for them. So what is the best time? We have to ask these questions. Where is the best place? Those days of like going into your room and closing the door and like sitting there all night is so old school. So find out from your teen, where do you like to do your homework? Are you better with noise or are you better quiet? What's the subject you like to do first? All of these take like almost a holistic approach so that this way your teen isn't fighting against their natural practices, but you're actually giving them the tools to get started and started well.
I also understand that getting a little physical activity in, burning up some of that teen energy is really important. How do you recommend we go about that?
Okay, so all the studies are showing, and it's not even just for teens, it's for adults too. The more we exercise, the better we lay down learning. And what that means is the more we can take in information and we can retain it. But it has to be aerobic exercise. So if your kid likes to shoot hoops, if your kid likes to run track, any of that type of energy and any type of exercise is going to reset the brain. But here's another interesting point. It's not just before you do homework. The research shows us too, the more we move while we're doing work, the better we're going to lay down that learning too.
Really?
So sitting at your desk, like even if you're an adult, sitting at your desk for hours on end is counterproductive. The more you move, so for a student, I suggest doing, let's say, science in the bedroom and let's say math at the dining room table. But the more we can move and more we can get our kids up, the more they're going to retain that information.
But with all this movement too, you're going to need more energy, right?
Yep.
So what should they be eating to prepare for homework too?
I laugh at that because I have a 17-year-old at home and we call it the power of the protein, okay? Seriously, I probably have cheese sticks sitting in my bag even now, but any protein is brain fuel. We know that. It really helps to energize the brain. So cheese sticks, jerky is one of the most fun things. Kids love it. It comes in fun different flavors now. Power bars, if you don't have a nut allergy, nuts are great. But also some type of glucose even we're seeing helps the brain, like an apple juice or Gatorade. Not sugary, not sugary candy, but the good kind of glucose. And even like omega-3, those fatty acids work great, salmon, those types of things. But protein is probably your best bet to get your teen to eat.
Let's talk about the workspace. Why is it important to organize the space that they're working in? How do you do it?
Well, you can't talk time management without talking about organization. You just can't. They kind of go hand in hand. And what you have to really kind of tap into is when your teen comes home from school, they're done. I always say, put a fork in them. They're done. They're done. So you don't want to waste that valuable time that they're about to start their homework with the, oh my God, I don't have a pencil, and then spend 20 minutes looking for that pencil, or I can't find the vocabulary that I had yesterday. So we want to make sure the space, whatever space they work in, because remember, I'm all about the moving around, but whatever space, that space is organized so that they have everything they need right at their fingertips, so they're not wasting precious time on things that aren't necessary.
Interesting. I
Thank
did
you
that
so
in college.
much. Yeah, exactly. Where was Leslie when I was in college? All-nighters.
I know.
Those are the worst. Thank you so much. Very
my
interesting
pleasure.
stuff.
Thank
You
you.
can pick up a copy of Leslie's book, What's the Deal with Teens and Time Management? It's in stores and online now.